So my story is called The Adventure of John and Garfield Eisel. It is a story of these two ice cubes, John and Garfield, going through the water cycle and maybe meeting some friends on the way. So, John and Garfield Eisel stayed in an ice cube tray. But one day they were put in lemonade with another ice cube out in the sun. So someone drank the lemonade and they started melting thanks to the energy that the sun was putting on them. Their particles started to move more freely, turning them into water. Thanks again to the heat of the sun, they evaporated. So their intermolecular space increased and their particles started vibrating more freely, basically turning them into lots and lots of tiny little water droplets that can float around in the air. But the other ice cube turned into gas like them, but collected on the sides of the glass, which was cooler than it, so it became back into water. So, since they floated upwards, they eventually joined a cloud, and the cloud floated around for a little while because the wind was pushing it. So, the cloud was almost ready to produce rain. There were more and more water droplets in it, so it had become bigger, and then some familiar mini clouds floated up, none other than Isaac and Iola Eisel. Isaac just so happened to be John's brother, and Iola was Isaac's bird. Finally, it rained. So what happens here is the little water droplets in the cloud, because there is a lot, some start joining together. And when they join together, it becomes bigger water droplets, which can't stay afloat in the air. So then the cloud gets smaller and the water droplets come down. So the rain went through a cold spot and turned into hail. What happens here is, since the rain goes through cold, it's basically the opposite of melting. It sucks out the energy and makes it more tightly packed and gives it less space. So the rain turns into a solid, which is hail. So then the hail landed on the top of Mount Everest, where they stayed for the while, but you never know.